ID and we can reset it, but let me know. Over here to my right shoulder is my right-hand man, quite literally at this point. Who the hell are you?
Yeah, Adrian from Cigars&Guns. Welcome, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, and I realize those who are up here on Instagram are going to catch some of Frank and some of myself, but all is well. And here we go. Jerry Vaughn coming in with the first one. Hi, I'm Jerry, and I'm already drunk. Cohiba Black and Dos Equis. Happy Tuesday to you, too. Give us about 5 minutes, please.
So we got a first question if you want to just kind of dive into it.
Yeah, I love it.
Dabby Heart 80 on Cigars&Guns Instagram. What are your feelings on flavored cigars? Recommendations on your favorite flavors?
Ooh. All right, flavored cigars.
Barreled age, I'm all over it. The kind where they put a drop in there, I don't like them.
Yeah, for me, flavored is not for my palate. I'm not gonna totally jump up and down on them, but I will say the Principal Angelique, that sweet tip, for me has grown on me for Saturday morning.
Just a tip.
And a palate cleanser. If I've had a couple of dark cigars or a heavy dinner, it's real good, like a dessert cigar. But yeah, flavored cigars, all the other ones, the Javas and some of those, it's just not for my palate.
I was literally about to say the same thing. So I do the Angelique, but I drink it with coffee. So the Angelique is like a creamer, and then it goes well together. That's the only flavored cigar that I've ever really smoked.
Can you see our screen, whether we're not, like on ICC, I don't know if we're coming in here, I don't know if we're coming in janky. Are we okay? See, it's still a little janky, right?
Yeah. Non-industrial, we're okay.
You see that little skip there? All right, well, if you don't like this feed, then go over to Cigars and Guns. You're going. It's going to be better. What do you think?
Well, I mean, like the Angelique and maybe even some of the Deadwood stuff, I will smoke so after something that's very tomatoey, so very acidic, that sort of kind of crushes your palate a little bit, I'll smoke that Angelique or the Deadwood stuff because it's got a little bit of, it's not a complete flavored cigar, it's more, the sweet tip stuff, so it tastes a little bit better after pizza or spaghetti or something like that. It's got a lot of tomato sauce in it, I find that the sweet tip stuff, but
I forgot about those Deadwoods.
Yeah.
Those Deadwoods do have its own little... Because it's actually a stronger flavored cigar.
Agreed. It is. And to me, it's like Cocoa Pebbles. It smells like Cocoa Pebbles. It tastes like it, but the leather rose it's a real cigar.
Yeah. And
it's leathery. It's kind of like a Christoph, if anyone's ever smoked a Christoph. But it's got some balls to it, that cigar. Mm-hmm. That can sneak up on you. And a lot of people who are not seasoned smoke that cigar when they're drinking, and it'll bite them. Yeah.
I've given that to a date, and they did not feel good.
I was like, oh!
Can you hang? Guess not.
Here's the strongest cigar I can give you. Jerry Vaughn, Acid, freaking puke. Mark Meyer, good evening, mate, to you as well. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I was just having this conversation. The best way to get rid of, they have grade A, B, C, D tobacco. What's the best way to do it? Spray some sweet shit on it, sell it at a gas station, get it out of the building. And the doors stay open.
It's a business decision, I guess.
Yeah. But it's a business decision, and you can do that.
So I will say that flavored cigars are an entry-level cigar for the newbies. It can be. So a lot of people that are not really cigar smokers, I'll have a Tazcan, and that's a good entry cigar for some of those folks.
I will say that I used to say that
until you started working here.
When I first started kind of helping out and helping people in the humidor. But then I kind of changed my mind or mindset on that, just because why would you start someone out on a flavor that they're not going to get from just regular tobacco? So that's the, and I'm not saying that he's wrong, because there are some palates that might be a good thing for them to start out on. But you really need to delve into, and that which you guys do a great job of, asking them, do you drink coffee? How do you take your coffee? And if they're not a coffee drinker, how do you drink wines? Because wine even sets your palate up for certain things. And understanding what a person's palate might be set up for, then yes, maybe you do lead them to a sweeter cigar, or if a flavored cigar, or if they've said, oh, I've had these and I've done that. But even if they tell me that they've had a flavored cigar, I usually try to take it over. Okay, well, here is a lighter, milder, non-flavored cigar that still has a really good taste to it.
It's lazy. It's
Right?
lazy to just take somebody to a flavor and go, you're new, so here's a flavor. It wouldn't work.
But at the same time, I think there's something, because your dad is good at this, is like, yeah, he figures out what your palate is depending on what you like, but also pushing your palate, whether it be one side or the other, whether it be you like stronger cigars, but you don't really try the medium or light stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just fill that spectrum of your palate, because our palates are evolving, right? Mm-hmm. So the more cigars that you have, then you can fill that spectrum and really appreciate the full.
Yeah, and like appreciating cigars for what they are and the magic they are, right? And I think Mark Rogers appreciates exceptional cigars. And this is like, for whiskey guys, they know chasing whiskey. For cigar guys, particularly ICC people, they understand like what a principal night flight means. For those who don't know what that means, it's okay, but it is not okay, because it is the most milk chocolatey experience. Like, why you have a better selection of unicorn cigars than quite literally the owner of the company has of his own unicorn.
Yeah, it pisses me off.
Yeah, no, it pisses all.
When he pulls it out, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna smoke this today. I'm like, fuck you, dude, it's Tuesday.
I buy them and I sit on them and kind of smoke them sporadically.
It's out of jealousy.
Yeah, but what I like about the night flight stuff is there's the same thing in the non-night flight version, which you can smoke all the time. And I like to smoke that same cigar just in the Aviator series, and then smoke the night flight almost back to back. Just sometimes is it how much different it is, if I can pick up any differences.
Yeah, I mean that's what kind of cocksucker he is. He's got enough night flights to just like experiment on how much better it is than normal stuff.
You don't.
What if I smoke it backwards? Does it taste any better?
Yeah. It's almost like when you pull it
You're not
in.
getting one for your birthday.
You almost shrug, like, sure, fine, I'll do this one. Okay.
I guess. I mean,
Sure.
night flight.
I guess it's okay.
I mean, Frank, you know chasing stuff.
Yeah.
And you know from smoking on the patio. Like,
We smoked on the patio?
all right, so Frank is my neighbor. Okay, Frank is my next door neighbor, and he always makes fun of me because everything that we smoke at the house is like, it's next level that I have at my house, but I don't have that many. So everyone is special. I have a humidor that's 70, but I don't have anything that I can't smoke that isn't just awesome.
All right,
I know
I'm going to jump in on this because you'll be at his house. And you're like, man, this is a really good cigar. And he's like, that's the last one in existence. It was in Kennedy's pocket the day he was assassinated, and it's yours. And you're like, okay, I'm going to put it down now. Nobody else will ever have this again.
You know what you should do? You should say that in mid smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like smoke it. Like, it's here, try this one. And then in mid smoke, be like, this is the.
Last
They're not going to make these anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
And then you'll be like, what? What did I do?
I'll drop that. Clancy was smoking a black and gold Coach Chambellan. I was like, that's the last one of those. Those don't exist anymore.
Oh, did you have the tequila?
And then it was like this, probably. It was like, what is this?
What is this? And then he just didn't want to smoke it. It didn't make sense. Where's Ron? Larry Adams says. Where is Ron?
Who? I don't know.
I don't know where he's
I
at.
think he's Ubering tonight.
Oh, he's working. He's getting that cigar money. For those who are watching, feel free to toss in some questions for any that you have.
Yeah, so let's get into the opposite side. Another question from PSN Sir Lucifer.
Great name.
Yeah, so he's asking, what's the best
Feel the background,
bold
right?
cigar? So we're going from sweet now to bold.
I'm guessing with the guy's name like Lucifer, he wants aggressive, right?
Fuck his palate up.
He wants something that is like he's listening to Pantera Like he wants that driving 140 miles an hour in his S10 or whatever it is. I don't know what he drives.
Ford Festiva.
Ford Festiva.
ST.
What do you think? What do you guys think?
Does bold necessarily mean like?
When I think bold, I think ligero. Like.
Let's think of one that's going to make you drool on yourself. Yeah, doubles and triples.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of a cigar that's going to drool on yourself?
Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, Jacob's Ladder, or the other one's the Jacob's Ladder, the Fire and Brimstone.
The Brimstone. Yeah. If you want something strong, Jacob's Ladder will make you sweat for sure.
Yeah.
And they just came out with a 9 1/4 inch Presidente. The cigar is this long it's a 4-hour Jacob's Ladder.
Like a golf course cigar maybe or something? I don't know.
It's a golf course I don't know.
It's a hurricane cigar, stand out in the hurricanes.
You light it at breakfast, you finish it off at dinner.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, I think that's an intense cigar, but I think if you want a cigar that's truly aggressive, and you want something that's going to beat your palate up, fortunately for you, it's very easy to find a cigar that is under-fermented, using grade B tobacco. Like, if you want something that's aggressive, no problem. Just buy cheap in a big green gauge and like a JFR or a Simon, right?
Yeah.
But if you want an intense cigar that's good, I don't know if you guys have tried the CAO Mortal Coil.
No.
Yep.
It's a very good intense cigar.
Yeah.
It's solid.
I think we smoked that a couple weeks ago on Ryan. We did the show on Wednesday night. So
Can you describe that for us?
oh man, I've had so many cigars between then.
Did it really make you like? Hey,
It was-
like.
So the probably didn't leave much of an impression.
No, I did. I mean, it had an intense flavor, but it didn't punch me like what a Jacob's Ladder or the Brimstone is.
Sometimes I'll try to push my palate, and Dave and I have very similar palates right now, and like Brian said, he tries to get you to push your palate, so he'll come up to me with this cigar and say, hey, this one's going to be a little on the bolder side for you, but try this, like Coalition is one of those that it's, I guess, considered bold, but tons of flavor. I almost wouldn't put the Bull and Bear in that, because I smoke those all the time.
It's 60% of the heroin.
But I think it doesn't hit you like it's
Right.
But the Tabernacle stuff
Oh yeah.
is also kind of, that's about as far as I go to enjoy it. Every now and then I'll smoke one that somebody
But
gives me.
for me, those are, like you said, it's very full within the flavor, but it doesn't have that kick you in the gut.
That's
like,
why I'm
like
so-
the Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, I don't like it
Because
too.
I'm good with a good bold flavor.
So that's what I mean when I was like, well, what does bold mean? Like, does it mean like, hey, fuck me up, or is it like just rich and
rich in flavor. Bold
Because
flavor.
when we look at strength, right? If we look at bold, it means two things: body,
Right.
or strength. And those are two different things. The body and how rich it is and the sensation on your palate.
And that's what I was trying to get.
There's plenty of
I think you're right.
excellent cigars that are just rich and bold and flavorful.
But the Jacob's Ladder is probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Well, that Bull and Bear, if you smoke it outside on a windy day, it's so smooth and soft. You come in here and smoke it, it's a completely different cigar.
Yeah.
And that's something you got to consider. The environment you're smoking it in makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. What are good what is kind of, if you had maybe a 1-2 or your favorite outdoor smoke, that's something that's exceptional, but something you really enjoy smoking outside? Like, I wouldn't smoke an Atabey outside. I mean, I do from time to time, but it just goes away because I can't enjoy all of the essence of what an Atabey is because it's a little lighter. What's kind of your outdoor go-to?
Mandalero.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I've been to learn.
Yeah, if you want to stay in the United line, just quickly going back to the Double Heroes, there was, and I forgot the name of the cigar, but the LFD, it was a Double Hero LFD that I used to enjoy. And I think LFD makes some good.
Cabinet 5?
Yeah, the Cabinet 5s we just got back in today.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we have Cabinet 5s.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
and Illusion Bowls. But LFD does make a good, strong cigar.
Did you sell a box?
We sold 2 guys 5 each.
But I saw another box.
So you know it's a box.
Yeah, that's a box. Yeah, we did. A box left. A box and a half
Yeah, I've been
left.
smoking the smoking jacket.
Oh.
at home outside.
Really?
I bought a couple boxes of those a long time ago and just had one at home and
Was it yellow and red?
just the red.
The red.
Yeah. And I really enjoy that one.
Jerry Vaughn is with us. He says Plasencia. Plasencia is a great, bold, and phenomenal. I mean, that's a full cigar.
For sure.
That's if you're smoking that Black Label Plasencia, you might be in trouble.
I gotta read this comment. It has really nothing to do with what we're doing here, but it's from Marlon Landolfo Regalado Ramirez.
Great.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Great pronunciation.
Fumemos marihuana, delicioso.
Sí. ¿Cómo no? Vamos marihuana. A huevo.
And then
That's fuck yeah.
another comment that really doesn't have to do with anything. Michael 904 Jackson. He's from Illinois. He's a top killer, and he loves us.
You know what? Glad to have you as loving us.
Yeah.
Top killer. Awesome.
Somebody does.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Yeah, I mean that's what do you guys here's really the mindset. We get into the Cigars 101, we talk about the nuts and bolts of smoking cigars. But to me, this is Cigars 101. If someone wants to sit over our shoulder, which is what this is, this is really what cigar smoking is. It doesn't have to do with necessarily how you smoke and how you draw, whatever, just as long as you're not a dickhead, really. I mean, no, I didn't mean to look at you. but I'm curious,
I'm a dickhead, so you know it works.
What is cigar smoking to you guys? Because my scope is a little bit different than what yours is.
I mean, in one word, it's an experience. It's just kind of driven, especially in this place, is experience. That's one thing I learned just working here and being here is having an experience. Like smoking a cigar is the pillar of being here, but everything around that is, relationships, having a good time, experiencing, just conversations and just it's the environment. It's all.
There's different experiences too. I mean, like with my unicorn cigars, to just grab one of those by yourself every day. None of you can have. I have a bunch of them. But just to grab one of those and sit by yourself and smoke it, where you can really kind of concentrate on it. That's an experience. But then there's the fellowship part of it, which is also really cool. Because then you can share things, and it's just a different experience. There's all different kinds of experiences that you can have smoking a cigar. Well, but none of them seem to be bad.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned like different types of experiences because do you still do the wind down Wednesdays? Mm-hmm. I did. So I haven't done one here, but I did it at my house. I went because my buddy Dustin is my roommate, and I was like, hey, why don't we try this? Why don't we try 45 minutes? Don't talk. Don't be on your phone. We'll put on chill music. Let's try that. He's like, okay. But he thought it was weird.
Yeah.
And it flew by like that.
Time compression.
Yeah. And then you eliminate eliminating senses like of the conversation, and then you can focus on what you're smoking.
Yeah.
And really just
it's profound. And I recommend anyone that does that. I mean, I still have something that I use from a day-to-day perspective, and I took the time that I did Wine Out Wednesday, right? And I equate this to what we're doing. I was sitting, I was thinking, no phones, no talking, no nothing, just thinking. And I thought, everything in life is either a tool or a weapon. And you're the vector point. Everything. Friends, cigars, everything. Money. And I remember that, and it's something I think about every day, right? I mean, just have it on my desk now. Tool or weapon in everything you do. And without shutting that off and letting that time with the cigar in your mind and everything, it was profound.
Yeah.
It changed who I was. Brett, what do you pick? I mean, like, what's your ideal cigar world? What's it mean for cigars?
Man, I have to say, as much as I enjoy like smoking on my back porch, when you have about 3 or 4 people, you're sitting around, it calms the environment, nobody's going crazy. Because when I do with bourbon, unless you have the right bourbon drinkers, it starts just becoming a drinking party.
Yeah.
And everybody's trying to get drunk. This here, we're trying to relax, we're trying to enjoy it, trying to learn something. It just kind of makes the environment smoother. Mm-hmm. And
It's as he shoots.
Exhibit. I'm the one trying to make it.
So it changes the environment. I mean, we could sit on your back porch for 4 hours like it's nothing. Without cigars, that'd get kind of boring. It's a different environment.
That's a good point, because we sat on Saturday. We sat from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Just smoking cigars and having conversations similar to what we always do, but it's always different somehow.
It is.
Right? I don't know. I mean, it's cool. But Chris, what do you see?
No, for me, it is. It's, I mean, kind of what everyone said. You know, yeah, I enjoy the occasional cigar by myself on the back patio, you know, kind of calm, wind down on my own, get in my own thoughts. But for me, some of my best memories and experiences and relationships come from this one thing that you guys always say, this one brown stick is what unites us all. And so some of my closest relationships have come from, you know, sharing of a cigar. Some of my most memorable experiences and trips center around a cigar. So, you know, and, you know, some of my most vivid memories, whether it's a cigar or just tobacco, I'm going to just throw that out there, because one of the first things that really, when I started coming here, when I smoked the 1880, when I get to the center of that, and there's that little bit of hint of that deep cherry flavor, I can close my eyes and it takes me back to sitting on the patio with my grandfather when he was smoking that cherry tobacco pipe, whittling on a stick, and just sharing knowledge and experiences with me. And that right there, being able to be transported back to that time and that memory.
Nostalgia.
Just, yeah, nostalgia. Just, you know, that's what it is for me. So,
What is it to you, Adrian?
Well, so here's a good question that just came in, and it kind of relates to the conversation that we're having. So, Andy, thank you for the question, and thanks for joining. How did y'all meet?
Right here.
That's an easy question.
Right here. I mean, we all met in these four walls of Industrial Cigar Company.
Other than neighbors, but
Yeah, I was standing outside, and this person in a Porsche pulled through the grass at 40 miles an hour. The rest is history.
that's that dude.
Yeah, it's my new neighbor. I like him already.
Tall grass.
But now, the cigar portion of that, I mean, were you smoking a cigar at any one point, or did you come over and...
So,
I think I'm your dealer.
yeah. You're the one that got me
I'm
into
a
it.
pusher man.
Yeah.
Were you a cigar smoker before?
I maybe had 2 or 3 before,
Yeah.
enjoyed them, but wasn't my cup of tea.
Right.
And I think really what happened, instead of me just getting a regular cigar, like something you get at a gas station, I'm approached by Brandon, hey, why don't you come over, we'll have a drink, smoke a cigar, and I'm handed a good product, something that's enjoyable.
Yep.
You know, it was easy to get into and start because I'm not buying something that says Black and Mild on it or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a
It was Swisher.
quality product,
You know, and I know my neighbor, next door neighbor's not watching this, they're a bunch of dicks, but...
Tag him.
15 seconds.
They are watching, you know, understand. When they first moved in, their house was being built. I went over, introduced myself, and, you know, if you need anything, please come and let me know, blah, blah, blah. Just being the neighborly guy. And after that, I can go out to my driveway and see him, no eye contact, not even a hello, nothing.
Not a cigar smoker.
Yes, he is.
What? Really?
Yes,
What,
because
Gurkha
I've been,
smoker?
I don't know, I've been on that. It smells good. It smells sweet. So it's not Gurkha or Swisher Sweet, thankfully. But I'll be in my backyard and then I smell cigar smoke, and I know the neighbor next to me is not a cigar smoker, for sure. And then, so it's got to be this guy. I'm like, this motherfucker. If he only knew.
Right, if
If he only knew, and if he would at least give me eye contact, I could overlook all that stuff and we'd be sharing cigars.
You need to move into our neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can shoot guns at coyotes. You can do
Nobody cares.
the fish, whatever you want to do. You can shoot wherever you like.
Fireworks, dirt bikes,
dirt
golf
bikes,
cart
yeah.
racing.
All of that happens. All of that happens. But yeah, we met here, and it's so powerful because, like, Meng and Ben, you worked here from the beginning, and it was such a cool thing that I got to see because I know there were some personal things that you were kind of working through that we felt with you, and this is like the power of the cigar culture is you were with us, and then there was a point where it was like, okay, guys, I'm going a different direction, and all of us were excited. It wasn't like this. Oh God, I can't believe it. Adios.
Right.
It was this. It's such a cool thing, and now we get to share it still.
Yeah.
But we have this genuine relationship that's been built different than drinking buddies. That is like what you're saying with the bourbon side of things, where we've been able to connect. And we connected at times when we were working together.
Yeah.
That was real and genuine. That lasts so much longer.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely, when I say the relationships here, it's not just, we're cigar buddies. I mean, a lot of the guys here, we've gone on trips to Cuba together. We've gone, hog hunting together. We've taken trips together. We've gone to football games together. We've done, basketball games and, special events. But for me personally, one of the biggest things that really made it, definitely wow and opened my eyes, even though I knew it, was, a year and a half ago when I got laid off. And it had happened 4 years prior to that. And I had just moved here. The shop wasn't open. I didn't know anyone in Frisco. And it was a rough time for me. A year and a half ago when I got laid off, and I had been here for 2 years and made a lot of friends and everything, the theme is, welcome to the family here in industrial. Well, as soon as anyone found out that I had been laid off, anyone and everyone here in the lounge was, hey, what can I do to help you? Hey, I don't know if I can do anything, but send me your resume, I'll send it out, I'll do this, I'll do that. And if someone hadn't seen me in 2 days, people were texting me, calling me, hey, you doing all right? No one was going to let me get down or get depressed, and it was a totally different experience from the 4 years prior that I went through. And that, I knew that existed, and I'd seen the lounge
restart.
I'd seen the lounge pull together like that before for other people, but to experience it yourself, man, it really meant all the world. So.
Yeah, I will say that. So I met Andrew through it was like a workout. Yeah, dating app.
Oh shit!
No, it was through it's like a workout facility, and then I was like, I tell the story to everyone, but I was like, who's this guy that thinks he owns this shit? He just has this demeanor of I'm a badass, whatever. And then after knowing a little bit more, I found out that y'all were, your family was, starting this cigar lounge. It's like, hey, why don't you come on out? We did the hard hat tour. It was literally just beams, right? You had art renderings of what it was going to look like, but it was really weird because even before anything was put up, you felt like an energy. It was like, oh, there's something about this place that is going to be different than any other cigar lounge that I'll be a part of. So I went up to Andrew, was like, hey, I'll either be a member here or I'll work here. So if you need help, if y'all need, staff or whatever, just give me a shot. And I was working full time already. And so, 2 weeks later, he's like, hey, are you still serious about working here? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, well, come on by. We'll do an interview. And then the rest was history.
Yeah,
I was just
great addition to the shop for sure.
So, just the fact that there was, I met a few people checking out the place too, but there was nothing here. You could feel like there was some sort of
something was different.
Something's different.
Yeah.
I feel like Norm walking into Cheers when you first walked in.
Yeah.
You have that
Yeah,
feeling.
you're
You feel
right.
welcome. You're excited to sit down, and that's what makes it different.
Yeah, and I think you're right, and I think it happens all the time. That's the best way to put it, is it's Cheers with cigars.
Yeah, and I'll say to continue or to finish off this conversation is, this is the great equalizer, and in being in Cigars and Guns, both in the gun world and the cigar world, this is the equalizer. Because you could have a CEO of a company, a VP of a major financial institution, blue collar worker, or whatnot. But this right here is what brings us all together. And it doesn't matter what stage in life you're at, you're all one.
And if your cigar is $30 or it's $7, it doesn't make a difference. It's still talk to you.
That's the beauty of this.
Unless it's a Durga.
Oh, that's.
Then you didn't buy it here anyway, so
Yeah.
fuck off.
I have to say I'm a little bit jealous about the bearded back. Thank you for chiming in. He's in Florence,
Italy?
Yes, smoking a cigar in his patio.
In Florence, Italy?
Well,
Salute!
good on you, sir.
Yeah. Also, it's super fucking late. What are you doing still awake?
Yeah, right.
I spoke with
and decided I'm going to chime in.
I spoke with Pablo today, and just look forward to something cool coming from Petoro. That's all I gotta say. It's gonna be special. What do you got?
I'm sorry, Spiro 1468. We do not have any weed. Sorry. I don't know what the theme of the night is. And so
Your guys.
This is Instagram. Yeah, my guys.
Your guys, they're into the weeds.
And hey, I don't judge if it makes you relax and feel good. That's
It's
fine.
pretty similar. It's pretty similar, right?
You're right. Yeah. If you want to talk about the relaxation
The
portion of it.
experience can be kind of similar.
You might be hungrier.
The reason is similar, right? Relax, whatever. But yeah, I'm not gonna smoke a joint and then decide to go shooting.
That's fair.
Charges.
There's just no motivation there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, that's it. I hope for those of you who are watching on our Facebook now, the stream's coming in a little bit cleaner. Let us know if it is or if it isn't. If it is, give us a share, please. If it isn't, still do it anyways. So, no, I think it's pretty cool. And what I see is really cool and unique is something that I see with you and Misty. It's like cigars are something that can be shared between couples, and I think that's pretty special.
Fun fact.
Oh,
This is not going to be fun.
Fun fact.
Misty
Misty is the one that got me smoking cigars.
Shut up.
Really?
What was her first cigar that she...
It was a Padron 64.
She has...
That's the first cigar you ever smoked was a Madrone 64?
Wow. So she was smoking cigars in college.
She's a lot cooler than mine.
And
Than you are.
yeah, she was smoking cigars in Nacogdoches and
Why is she not here?
and yeah. Well, we got kids now. So.
Can we swap you two?
Yeah. Why don't you come in here and get out of my seat?
Yeah, we'll get her in the show coming up. But she's like, hey, we're just hanging out. We just met. We're just dating or whatever. She's like, hey, you want to smoke a cigar? I'm like, how do you say no, right? It's a girl I'm interested in. Of course you say yes.
Of course I did.
And there was a place in Nacogdoches that it was just a guy had an antique shop and had a little humidor in it. It was his hobby, and he also sold them. But he had some Padrones, and she went and picked out cigars for us, and that was my first cigar. And that's kind of how I got into it, was through her. And the fact that she still does it, and she can come up here and hang out and smoke a cigar. Now she just smokes the most expensive of cigars.
Now that you're paying for it.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, to have a wife that comes up here and thoroughly enjoys smoking cigars, I mean, a lot of guys don't do that. And that's not awesome. So
She would play the long game with you. Got you.
That's what
That made you
Right.
pay for
It was a plan.
That was a long game, man.
Overall plan.
whatever works.
Whatever works.
I'm smoking a house state.
Well done. Well, good on you, Misty. Good on you.
No, you mentioned that, and I was, when I first started coming here, was surprised at the amount of women that came in, and even more women that continue to come in and smoke cigars. And it's a welcome occurrence, right? So yeah, I think that's.
So my wife wants nothing to do with a cigar, supports me 100%, doesn't care if I smoke them, but conveniently I have an apartment above my garage, and I have a smoking buddy up there now. So anytime I want to smoke a cigar or have a drink,
There you go.
I just got to yell outside the back door, and she comes down and.
New team assemble.
Yes, exactly.
That's like the cigar troll.
Yeah.
I don't mean any disrespect with that, Susan, but for real.
Yeah.
Jerry Vaughn has some information, and he has a love for Gurkha.
All right.
He wants to know, please enlighten me on the hate on Gurkha.
Okay. So here's what we see from a Gurkha standpoint. Yes. Okay. So here's the deal. Gurkha is a phenomenal marketing company. Phenomenal marketing company. But it's also a marketing company that sells cigars. And their packaging is phenomenal. The stories they tell are phenomenal. But I've had the opportunity to see it firsthand, and details are important. Details, the small pixels make up the big picture. And when you sell $750 cigars that are Louis the 13th infused, well, they're infused, but here's what the real process is. They take a dropper of Louis, true Louis. They take a dropper and they put it in a glass jar, and they put one drop in the jar. They put the cigar in, foot up, then another drop in the top, and then boom, they hit it. It's a $10 cigar, maybe, that they're selling for $750. For me, good on you, Gurkha. Good on you. Keep the lights on. For me, I don't feel good knowing that is the direction. That I can't give somebody that's of the greatest value of their dollars. I mean, I could literally sell you a box of Adames for that one cigar. And am I going to give you 30 hours or more worth of premium enjoyment, or 1 hour that you can show to your friends? And to me, that it's about value. It's about where the dollars come from. And to be honest, my firm belief is just like what you were saying. At the beginning with flavor, it doesn't match me. It doesn't match our lounge. But if that's what you enjoy, honestly, smoke it. I mean, the best. I love what you say. How do you say that? What's the best cigar? And your answer to that is something.
The one in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you enjoy, we're going to crack jokes about it because we've split the cigars open and smelled the under-fermented tobacco. We've seen the production. We've seen what that looks like, and it's not something that we align with. But to each their own.
Yeah, that's what's great about cigars is you can like. I mean, anybody can like any cigar. If you don't like it, doesn't mean I don't like it. So I mean, we do crack a lot of jokes about Gurkha, but I mean, if you like Gurkha, smoke Gurkha.
Smoke Gurkha.
You just can't buy me.
Yeah, I mean, it will be a telltale sign because that corner of the lounge is going to smell like an old gym sign.
Now, Jerry, are you local?
I don't know where Jerry Vaughn is.
Yeah.
I don't
Jerry,
know.
where are you from? If you're local, please make it down here to
I'll do a challenge.
Yeah, and I'll even say
blind
that,
challenge.
Yeah.
before I started coming here, I smoked cigars for 20 years before I started coming here. I thought I knew a lot about cigars. My knowledge and level of knowledge was quickly corrected once I started coming here, but in a good way, right?
Yeah, it's never like it's never a flex of like, hey, I'm better than you.
No, I never felt like, dude, you're so stupid, right? I never felt like that. The presentation of the knowledge and the extra information, number one, helped me develop my palate. I did the blind man's draw with your dad. I thought my palate was 5'6", and I thought I knew which cigars I would like. Of course, he did what Ryan said, pushed my palate in both directions after I told him what I typically smoke. A little bit bolder, a little bit lighter. And after I did the blind man's draw, my favorite cigar was a little bit bolder than I would have normally smoked. And one that I walk by all the time. It was a Bandolero. I walk by all the time and never bought it, right? And what he helped me do is connect the dots on what I was tasting. I knew what cigars I liked, but I didn't know why. And for that, the whole next year, I really concentrated on the flavors I was tasting. I used the flavor wheel and really did that. The next time we did the blind man's draw, I was able to identify all 6 out of 6 cigars.
That's cool.
Blindly,
not knowing the labels or anything. And for me, that was a huge win for me, and really helped. And then when we went to Cuba, and a lot of our guides only knew the company line. They only knew Cuban cigars. And one of our guides, after a couple of us started talking about cigars, said, "You know what? I'm gonna sit down and smoke the cigar that you gave me, and let you guys talk about cigars because you know way more than I do."
Well, it's the truth. I mean, they're given the lines.
And so it was, so that's, I don't even know where I was going with that now. I totally forgot.
Well, one thing that,
you're talking about whether the Gurkhas or not. My palate changed even from before I was here to now that I'm here. There's different things that I smoke, and I think, Mark made a comment earlier. that's what I like. That's what I like right now. That's how it hits my palate now. Because I think your palate does change. I go through times when I like a little bit bolder cigar, and I'll go through a couple of weeks where I'll smoke bolder cigars, and then I'm like, back off a little bit, and so my palate changes a little bit. And I think it's kind of like,
I think there's power in knowing what you're tasting in a cigar. Be like, this tastes earthy, or this tastes this. I mean, people do it with wine, do it with bourbon. And to be able to put words to like what you're tasting can help you hone in on what you like.
Education. What I've learned. So I smoked cigars before you guys opened. I've learned in the 3 years more about cigars than I ever knew. But one thing that I've noticed is that education in the cigar industry is it elevates your experience. So we're talking about experiences earlier, but the fact that you know more elevates each one of those experiences.
For sure, in the respect and everything.
Right, and the pinnacle of it was the factory, Night the Factory. So all that I had learned, I mean, had I not learned any of that, that would have been just lost on me. I'd been, fuck, this tastes like shit, and this is awful, but when you start mixing it all together, the whole experience, it was like the pinnacle of everything that I've learned, like, so this is really cool because I know all this other stuff. But even if you're just hanging out with buddies, the more you know, the more education you have, it just brings up the experience.
I'm with you. And before you ask what you were going to ask, I think it goes back to the Gurkha thing, because when we spoke with the CEO of Gurkha, it was everything was already known. But in the same day, we get to talk to Nestor Plasencia, probably the most powerful Nicaraguan farmer in the history. Maybe Padron can rival, but this is a guy whose family has been farming since 1865, and he's the first to say, I know nothing. And when you find that, it's so humbling to go, well, if this guy knows nothing, I definitely know nothing. And it's that same day, it's like, okay, teach me everything you know so that way I can know nothing. Right? But then you see that in the personalities, and that's why we partner with the people we know. Is we don't know. It's gonna change. And what tobacco tastes like now and how it's cultivated is gonna be different than
so ask questions, right? So if you're not local and you can't come here, and wherever you are, whoever's watching this, wherever you are, find a shop and ask questions. Do some research and ask questions and try to find, try to get knowledge out of people.
Call up here. I've done that before.
Yeah.
Ordered online after I made the phone call.
Yeah. You were gonna ask a question. You said you guys find.
Well, do you find yourself like? My choice of cigar has to do with the time of the day. If middle of the day, it's probably the lightest cigar in my humidor. The later it is, the richer it becomes. I like the heavier towards the night. And that is 100% consistent with me. And it took me a while to figure that out, but now I know what to grab, or I can say, hey, what's comparable to this? And my humidor has become more tailored to me. Compared to when I first had that thing, it was just trash. Well,
it was trash. No, I just gave you a humidor full of. No, I did. I mean, truly. And it's something that you passed on.
Yeah.
I gave him just a travel Zycar humidor full of a couple little nuggets, and then most of it was just kind of trash.
Side note to that same humidor is on the fourth person now. What happens is the rule is I give it to somebody, they get into cigars. Once they get comfortable with it, they upgrade and they have to give it away to somebody else.
That's cool. That's what I do with my first guitar. Once you learn, sign it and give it to somebody.
I actually did that with so when it was my cousin Rick that got me into cigars. And the first cigar I ever smoked was Romeo and Juliet No. 2 on back patio with some bourbon. And that Christmas he gave me my first humidor. And then once I got into cigars and I upgraded into the humidor, one of my buddies that I got involved in the cigars, I gave him that humidor, and he's passed it on to one of his buddies. So I think it's been passed around 3 or 4 times, and I even did that with the upgraded humidor that I did. You've probably seen it, my bookcase humidor. Kayla, when she was looking for a humidor a couple of years ago, so I've got this other humidor sitting in my closet, I'm not using it. Here you go. So there you go. Yeah, so that's a great tradition.
Yeah, I got one 2 Christmases ago. The big, I don't remember who was making the big wooden ones.
Oh yeah, that Rockefeller.
And Bagley put a big R on the top of it. And I thought maybe giving that to my son if he gets some cigars years from now would be kind of, because I have it and I still use it. It's actually where I keep all my unicorns. But his unicorn, it won't have the unicorns in it when I give it to him.
His unicorn case is the biggest case we've ever sold.
Just going home and throwing mine away.
No, but if you do, I mean, if you parent correct, then he'll be into it. You know, if you're a good dad, then he'll probably smoke cigars.
But I found myself, like what you say, earlier in the day, maybe a little bit milder cigar, and then as it gets later, a bolder cigar. Or if I haven't had anything all day and I come in here a little bit earlier in the evening, and I know I'm going to smoke 2 or 3 cigars, I do kind of think through the process. All right, I'm going to have 2 or 3 cigars. What do I want to start with? What's a good way to build that process so I don't ruin my palate or screw it up?
Well, that goes back to the education, lightens it and elevates the experience. So you know enough to go, okay, what's my situation? Or, if you empty stomach, not a bold cigar, not a bold cigar moment, right? So you get a light cigar. But if you know that, you have a better experience because you can pick out a cigar for the occasion.
Right.
Or there's a cigar for every occasion.
Or if you just had some pasta or some pizza, I need to cleanse my palate really good before I get on the cigar, or it's going to taste terrible.
Yep.
Right.
I find that I start off with the lower end cigar and work up, because if I go the other direction after the first one, I kind of get bored with that second cigar.
It's funny. It happens often, because usually if you're coming over, I don't know if we're hanging until 1 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. Both of those happen often. But sometimes, like this last one, and I saw that too. It was just, I gave you the Byron Petit Poema.
Oh, it's so good.
I watched your mind flow.
So good.
It's something that he usually doesn't smoke, but to watch somebody who jives, I don't know if you've seen that, like when someone gels with the cigar perfectly, and you see him just looking at the cigar silently over there, it's like, holy shit, what is this? That was happening. And then afterwards, we hopped to an Accomplice Purple Label, great cigar, really phenomenal cigar. Yeah. But then he's like, it was lost. Yeah, but I think you're right.
Yeah, getting back to Jerry Vaughn. So the guy lives in Fort Worth, so he's local, and he appreciated the information on the Gurkhas, and he said thanks for enlightening him.
Yeah, and I want to be clear. I don't mean to speak poorly, but I do want to speak to the reality of the situation. Whereas we have not only limited space, but we can only partner with the people who are really paying attention to the details. And if you go into the humidor, there's going to be vacancies on the shelf. By design. I mean, we want to have the bottom shelf. I prefer to have stellar cigars all the way through so you can close your eyes and grab cigars. Not I, but Pops and Nate. But it's like, so when they come to the product selection, you need to be able to close your eyes and grab a cigar. And whether it matches your palate, who knows? But we just can't have the same thing everyone else has, or partner with people who differ from us from a
philosophical standpoint.
We'll call it that way. And profits are profit. Everyone has to keep food on the table. But for us, how we do that is different. Right. How we do that is partnering guys with like principal crux. All the stuff that we're at, where they can meet it head on. Here's what our challenges are. And overcome.
I would almost say that what I see here is you care more about the relationship, and whether it's with the customer or your vendors or cigar brands, and the money takes care of itself. Other lounges
start money first.
They start worrying about the money first or put it first, and their relationships aren't as deep or rich or loyal.
And you'll see that when you walk in, there's a discount table on the front because they can't move the shit.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, though, if I can be honest, we fatigue reps. We beat the fuck out of reps. And
they probably need it because no one else.
No, it does. But when you gotta work. Yeah. Otherwise, Nate's tracking you down, and that's what Nate's doing right now. You told us this. Yeah. Why didn't we get this? Why did you send us this? And of all people that I want to be tracking me down armed, Nathan's not the one.
No,
that's true.
Right? Honestly, we make reps work. So it requires us, because reps in this industry, aside from the really killer ones like Brian McGee is fantastic. I mean, we've got a number that are really stellar, but there are some who wash out. And then it requires us to go, is that a line? Yes, they make good cigars, but can we deal with them? Or can they deal with us?
Yeah.
Are we going to make them work when we come into the humidor? You're not here to just sit.
Right.
You're here to work.
Yeah.
And it washes reps out. And so then we work with
you know what? Because you're working to push good product. And if you sell it all and you're not providing the product that y'all, talked about, like these are good cigars, and you're like, hey, where's the rest of this product that we talked about? Then how are we supposed to benefit from each other if you're not doing your end of the deal?
Your word and stamp of approval means something here, where other places, not nearly as much. So that speaks to why you guys work so hard at that, and you make those reps work. I mean, if you want to be here, great. I mean, I was in Tampa. I told you and your dad this on Saturday. I was in St. Pete, a new cigar lounge that opened in the past couple months. Really nice cigar lounge, and I was talking to one of the guys in the humidor there, one of the workers there, and oh, you're from Dallas? I said, yeah, I'm from Dallas. I'm here visiting. He said,
Brian McGee is on right now.
Isn't that where Industrial Cigar Company? I said, that's actually the lounge that I'm a member of. Here I am in Florida, in St. Pete, and they already say, oh yeah, I read a couple articles about them and a couple of cigar magazines. And I've been wanting to come visit. I was like, hey, you should come visit. It's an experience like no other. I said, I like how you guys have it set up. It's very similar. I think you'd enjoy it, but come visit. But to actually see another cigar lounge out there that's like, oh, I've heard about this place. I mean, there's not many lounges that you go, oh, you're from, okay, so you're from Texas or Dallas, that they immediately are able to pull something up like that and say, oh, I've heard about that place.
I think the biggest thing you guys have going for you is anybody can walk in and know the product's backed. Without a doubt, that's a good cigar. It's been tested by a bunch of guys that are going to enjoy it. You're not putting it on there because the margins are good. You'd rather carry something that people are going to enjoy. And knowing that bit of info, people are going to drive further because you're getting a good investment for your time and money.
Yeah, and I want to pivot a little bit because I don't want this to be an ad for ICC because you guys are the real ad, right? I mean, because we do the work, and we're not in it for the profits. If you want to make $1 million in cigars, give me $2 million, and I'll give you $1 million back. Like, that's it. It's the easiest way to not make much money. But it doesn't matter truly, aside from the fact that we continue to grow. For me, the biggest thing is you guys. Like, I can take a first timer. I hope you understand the value that you all bring. Yeah. Because product takes care of itself if you have a program in place and you expect, and you have great reps like Brian McGee. But ultimately, without you guys, it's four walls. And I know when I'm giving a tour, I can say, here's Chris, here's Ryan, here's Frank, if you're in here. Usually it's happening on my backpack. Yeah. I can hand them off and go, see you later. And I know their experience, as long as the air is clean, the ashtrays are clean, the bathrooms are clean, you guys have it taken care of. It's a community. Mm-hmm. And to me, I asked that question at the beginning, what are cigars? It's community. Right? And it's different than a community of what one nonprofit might put on a mission statement. Community is something you can only feel. You can't really talk about it. But if I can sit down with Mega Bang, or I can sit down with Rogers and feel like I've known him my whole life, I think cigars are the only thing that I've ever experienced that is like that. I don't know if you guys agree, if you guys see it different, but to me, it's the only thing that bypasses all the bullshit small talk and gets right into real conversation.
Yeah, because I hate hey, how's this weather?
Oh,
okay, calm down. Like,
it's hot.
Yeah,
it's hot. Yeah, we're in Texas. It's June. We know.
Right.
Yeah.
How's that cigar?
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do? Oh, yeah. No.
But that's not going to matter here. I mean, it really. I mean,
how many people do you know the name of their kids, but you don't know what they do for a living?
I think the question is, the first question is, what are you smoking? Before it's, what do you do?
That's a good.
I mean, what do you do is like maybe the fifth time you see them in the lounge. When the conversations evolve a little bit, or once you get to know them. But I mean, you can sit down with somebody you've never seen before in the lounge and be like, "What are you smoking?"
There's still people here I don't still know what the fuck they do.
You know what I do?
I don't.
So Johnny Goodrich
has been a private member since January. He's been a member since September. And I just found out the other day, I actually don't know what he still does. But what I know is he worked for CompUSA when they were like 12,000 employees or something like that.
Right.
His job was to fire everyone and be the last guy. He was literally the last guy to turn the lights off.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's all I knew about. Like, that's his professional career.
Well, and
He's an accountant.
He's in accounting?
Yeah.
Alright. Nice. Cool.
I
Good to know.
I've had 5 conversations with Johnny Goodner, so I know what he does now.
I knew Mark for months.
Hey, there's Johnny Goodner right there.
I knew Mark for months before I even knew what he did or even thought about asking what he did.
I don't know what he does. I don't know
You still don't know
what
what
he
he
does.
does?
I know it's their shirts.
IT.
No, I'm an SAP analyst. Software.
Software.
For
You know what that is. You're a fucking nerd.
I called them. I can help.
And then you're like, yeah, well, cool. So what are you smoking?
Yeah, I can.
what I do doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're here to skateboard.
Yeah.
Not just you. I mean, that goes to my earlier comment where it's like VP of a major institution, right? I don't care. I care. It's great. You have a great
And
job.
the only reason we go is because I changed jobs and that's all being here,
That's
right?
all on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I even had a rule when I was working, these big corporate jobs where there's so many people you kind of know their name, and then you go to these happy hours with kind of close people that works in your department or whatever, and we go to these happy hours and they were talking about work. That drove me crazy. Like, we're here to kind of let loose and not talk about work.
But they only do it for comfort. It's because they're not cigar smokers. And what I mean by that is cigar smokers know how to have a conversation that isn't about the 9-to-5 bullshit that they run with. But you guys have that in common, right? Where we all have this in common, where what are you smoking?
And then it goes there from there.
Deeper.
Yeah.
Right? And it's deeper conversation.
I think you're having a good lounge experience, no matter where it is. I think you're having a good lounge experience if what you do doesn't even matter.
Right. But there's signs of things people do want to talk about. For example, if I bring up guns, I know who to ask as soon as I walk in.
For sure. Right. I mean, the networking aspect of a lounge is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Right?
You bring up guns, and Chris is going to say something about it. Manga Bang, Rogers, we all have, interest in guns. So going back to the range day, the private range day we had last week. So Earl, the guy that was there,
He was so cool.
at the end of the evening, I'm like, dude, thank you for everything, great dude. And I was like, and we started talking about Jeff. Jeff owns the Crannies FTG, and he's working for Jeff because Jeff was doing some undercover stuff. But I was like, hey, you're with Plano PD? He's like, no, man, I'm in IT sales. Did you know that?
No, he's like, I'm not military, I'm not anything. I just love shooting. And
But the way he shot that rifle upside down,
that was so impressive.
It's like, God damn.
Guy was phenomenal, and gave us little tips and tricks, whatever, which was great. And again, I thought he was PD. I thought everyone who really worked with Jeff was all PD, but he's not. He's like, no, man, I'm just an IT guy, and whenever you want to come out here, let me know.
No, it was so cool.
Yeah.
I was jealous that I missed that event.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, I'll think of another one for sure.
Yeah, let's do that soon because that was incredible. That was just so much fun. Don't you guys get like I don't know if you felt that same way, but when I left, I had this similar buzz to when I get done riding motocross or mountain bike. It's like when you're there, the sun's going down, and you're just like, you got like a high. It's like, I got music bumping, I got windows down. It's like, God.
I get that
Everything's
before.
right.
I'm like kind of jittery because I know it's gonna be a fun day, and
Uh-huh.
I'm just like,
That's
I
what
just
you-
drank it seems like I drank like a gallon of coffee. I'm like, all right, here we go. Then I have a cigar in my mouth, right?
Uh-huh.
And I smoke that Byron.
You spoke to Byron at the range. Jesus Christ.
I say that.
Yeah, I don't regret it though. At the same time, I don't regret shooting guns with good people and smoking a damn good cigar.
Damn good cigar. It's just, but it's such a cool common interest. And I think that's what's, what this really is it's like the biggest excuse. It's it's the easy cop out. And the biggest cop out question is what you smoking, and it always works. And it is lazy, but for some reason, like training wheels, it always catches you, and you never have to worry about feeling cheesy. Like, what you smoking? It's like that's me going, hey, I want to have a conversation with you. You know I want to have a conversation with you, and I don't want to talk about the weather.
It's a tried and true door opener to a better conversation. To open.
But it often reminds me of cigars that I haven't had in a while.
Well, that's the
shit. I need to smoke one of those. I haven't had one of those in a long time. That's a good cigar, you know?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. Because sometimes, I haven't tried that one. What do you think of it? You know? Or like you and Mega Bang, they're smoking the house stick. I was like, oh damn, I haven't had a house stick in a while. I need to go grab a couple house sticks.
Exactly what I was thinking.
You know, because sometimes I get on, I'm smoking Crux, a lot of Crux or Principal, and I'll forget about some of the other cigars, and so it takes me seeing someone or asking, hey, what are you smoking tonight? Oh, dang, I gotta go get one of those.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's cool, and I think about this all the time because, in all honesty, I came to the realization the other day too. It's interesting because I don't have any friends my age, very few. Because cigars allow me to connect with people who have lived more life, who are more mature, who can have detailed conversations. And a conversation on Sunday reminded me, I don't want to have friends my age anyways. Fuck them. They're all too young and shallow-minded. But what's so cool, when I think about that, is my young friends go, I don't want to go to Brandon's again. You know, I want to go to this bar. But if they don't want to come up, no problem. I'm going to hang with Frank.
Right.
And we're going to sit on my patio or your patio. And I'm content with life because I have a genuine connection with people I enjoy being around. And some people will be there, some people won't. But it's like, if we have this, the conversation is always a little bit different, right?
You know,
and it's always fulfilling.
What you just said, I'm the opposite. So I'm probably the oldest dude on this table. But I appreciate hanging out with younger dudes that we can have these conversations, and it's like no other.
There's a level of maturity that comes to smoking this cigar.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the same level.
Yeah.
You're really not off of it. Whether you're 30 or 50 or 60, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
But you do have different experiences, and I like learning and hearing about the different experiences and the different knowledge. Because, like I said, everyone comes from different backgrounds, so I'm always at work or wherever. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to find another room, right? Be around other people who know different things that you don't know. It helps expand your horizons and expand your knowledge.
Right, and even trivial stuff like drinking stories are not that interesting. No one's drinking story is not that interesting, right? But
yeah, okay.
From the youngest guy. But ultimately, cigar stories are usually a little bit deeper. Like everyone's first cigar story. I was 12 years old. My grandpa Duke. No bullshit. I went to Missouri because fireworks were illegal in Nebraska. So we drove to Missouri. We got a gross of bottle rockets. My grandpa didn't have punks. He didn't have shit for a lighter. So we bought Black and Miles. And I just told him, please don't tell my dad. And I realized that because I told him that story not long ago, and he wasn't super happy about it. But at 12, I smoked a Black and Mild with Duke, and I'll post a picture of Duke of him in his '57 Chevy ripping a wheelie down the drag strip. He's in the National Drag Racing Hall of Fame, and we lit off bottle rockets. Just that's the first deal. But I could listen to you like trying to court your now wife. Trying to be cool, smoking a real cigar. Your first cigar, like there's drinking stories, but
and every time I smoke that cigar, actually, anytime I smoke a Padron, period, it brings me back to that point, that time. And occasionally I'll go in there and grab one and smoke it. It's cool.
And you guys have that bond. When you guys are smoking together, it brings you back to your first.
Well, she's at Atabay, so she. Padron's lost on her.
Do you think it's because I know olfactory sensors are the strongest sense in evoking memory? Do you think it's because olfactory is so important to cigars? Is it's immediately nostalgic?
I think I think so. Like, I think, so, you know, when you gather, you know, some guys to smoke a cigar, we're unintentionally using smells and these experiences to put a memory to it. So, like, you know, when I talk to girls that are like, oh, it's fun that you smoke cigars, it reminds me of my grandpa. It's because, you know, their dad.
Even they have some sort
Yeah, so
That's not a bad thing.
we're assigning our sense to a memory and vice versa. So it's like, oh man, this cigar is great. You know what this reminds me of? That time when we were at my house, or this time when I was in Mexico, or this time where we were hog hunting, or whatever it may be. But you remember you kind of remember what you were smoking, what you were doing, who you were with, and that's where that nostalgia comes from. But it's an unintentional thing just because we love it so much.
I think it's how your brain kind of catalogs memories, and some of the more vivid and more detailed memories are connected to not necessarily sight, but definitely sound and smell. And I think it's I'm sure there's some sort of, you know, science behind it that, you know, that olfactory and the smell really helps connect some of those experiences.
It's funny because I can think about the smell of a pipe, and I remember being maybe 10 years old and remembering playing football out front while my neighbor smoked a pipe. It's like thinking about a pipe. Anytime someone says pipe, I think Joel smoking it.
Yeah, you just have like an immediate flashback. It just triggers something, and it's just like, and it's usually 99% of the time it's a good thing. It's a good memory that triggers.
Yeah,
just from smoking a cigar.
Marty Upton coming in saying, loving the conversation format. Makes me wish I risked trouble with the missus and made it up.
I tried.
No, I think that's the way to do it, though. I mean, because ultimately what Cigars 101 is, we want to give someone a glimpse into what it is to smoke a cigar.
It's not just the cigar, it's everything else around it.
The regions don't matter.
Yeah.
How you smoke it, how you light it, how you cut it, all of that enhances.
Yeah.
But none of it really matters. I mean, this is cool. I think we should continue to do this format, and we'll figure out what the best layout, setup, all that stuff is.
Yeah.
But
maybe Marty can show up to one day.
Hey, maybe he'll risk that.
I mean, it's just a little glimpse of the lounge experience too. It's not like we're doing anything super special. If we all didn't have anything to do, we just sit in the lounge, we'd be doing this exact same thing. We just
Having
film it.
the exact same conversation, just not the camera.
So, I mean, if you're intimidated, if people are intimidated about going in lounges, which new cigar smokers probably might be.
It's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming at first.
But, I mean, it's just a bunch of dudes sitting, or girls too, sitting around BSing and smoking a cigar. You know, I mean, it's nothing, it's, you know, we're not solving world problems, at least. I mean,
Yeah, but we kind of are.
logistically.
Well, yeah, I mean, really, we kind of are. Because it's people from all walks of life who wouldn't have the opportunity to connect together, having meaningful conversation and connection. To me, that's solving world problems. And yes, that's existential. But the reality of it is, our world is disconnected. We're all connected on our phone, but we're really, truly disconnected.
Yeah.
But this allows us.
Go into a lounge and smoke a cigar and have a conversation with somebody that you don't know.
I think the conversation in itself today is a lost art. I think in our sense it's something that we're keeping alive.
Can I add something to that? When you come into the lounge here, how often you see people on their phones, unless they're by themselves or they're working, everybody's actually talking and communicating. I mean, you don't see that anywhere else.
Yeah, there are the group of people now. There are some outliers that want to disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But they're doing it on purpose usually.
Yeah, that's their
hey,
experience. And they smoke a cigar, you know, whatever.
And it's a respectable thing. It's like, no, I get it. He needs to decompress. They need to decompress.
Yeah.
And even if you're the new or the occasional cigar smoker and not the I'm up here every day at the lounge or whatever, there's plenty of other things that people are here, like we talked about earlier, guns, you know, the whiskey, whether it's tequila or coffee. I mean, there's so many other connections that are made here and other interests that are here that just it just makes it one huge community.
I couldn't agree more. It's like my 4-year-old daughter Alessia wants to.
Well, she's gonna.
Your niece.
She's gonna associate cigars with donut holes for the rest of her life.
For the rest of her life. But it's like she wants to start playing soccer. So I know I'm gonna sit and have a cigar with Mark Rogers and go, teach me this communist game that you and I'm gonna learn because I'm coaching my daughter.
We need a whiteboard.
Fine. We can write it on the walls. But no. But it is cool. You can find those different interests in the people who know more about everything that you know.
People that have kids and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, all different kinds of things.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
Good
I
time.
think that's
3 hours. It seemed like.
I just want to be a part of the unicorn.
Oh wow.
That's what I really want to be a part of.
Well, I've got
right now.
hierarchy.
Right now, it's just one person. I wish he would help expand that club a little bit.
Yeah, I just want 1 or 2 sticks out of it. That's all I'll tell you.
You'll take most of them home.
No, well, this
I don't trust any of you.
Smart man.
No, but this is cool. I appreciate it. I really, honestly, don't give too many fucks if anyone watches or not. We're going to continue to do it this way.
Yeah.
And because this is cool. This is what cigars. This is what they are.
Yeah, that's the essence of it.
That's it.
Man, I smoked this house to the nub. That's how good this thing is.
Gentlemen, cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you didn't like it, I don't really care.
There, guys.
Good night.
Side note, you need to count about 2 Mississippis after you swipe that. It's about 2 seconds short. When you turn that off at the end of the show, it goes in about 2 seconds.
Does it?
Yeah.
Before I say some stuff?
Well, yeah. It's like,
That sounds like I've said some stuff.
it cuts off like 2 seconds before that. So if you're mid-sentence,
That makes sense. Because there's that 15-second lag, and it cuts off on that.
It's about 2 Mississippis on account of what you're going to say. So
That's fun.
Yeah, we had 200 people on Cigars and Guns.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah, Cigar Newbies had 108 viewers.
I need to find out what's going on with Cigars and Guns.
And then when you
on my
restarted
Facebook.
it,
it never shows me your live
reposted
stuff.
it again to all
But as soon as it's done,
So I'm in all
it's
like
there.
the DFW, Friday Cigar.
Okay.
So I'm in all those.
Is that what it is?
Whiskey, and then out to the Vegas.
No one will.
I
You get a
always
couple
do
people
Saturday
live.
shop and cigar meetings that way. I try to share it.
Majority won't see them until I post
Can I
it.
make a suggestion that we start sharing it out like beforehand? Like you have a group of people you message, I'm going live now. That actually comes in the message, so we see it immediately, and then we'll share it out at that point. So I'll be more than happy to do that. Or just ain't missing.
Oh, by the way, Adrian, this is Frank. Frank, this is
We've done that.
Yeah, we met. No, I think I met Frank, but I was at his patio and
Yes.
he came over. That's right.
He did come over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've met some very interesting people on your patio. And out of all the cool people, then there's Gabe.
Yeah, Nick. No, I mean it's
Love that.
there's been a lot of people on that patio.
And you talk about unicorns, and I still keep thinking of that damn Coach Gallant Black and Gold and that
Socorro.
that
Socorro.
on Christmas Eve.
Is that
Just
incredible?
like-
Was that when it was? Was that Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Speaking of unicorns, I smoked the principal unicorn.
The one in the box.
No, the
Because I was just about to ask.
No, he's an angel. Angel Mercy.
tan band on it.
Is that the one you wore?
What is the
True
color?
unicorn, like
The 7.
Oh,
No, that was a diadema.
the diadema.
That was
Oh.
a diadema.
yeah, I smoked that the other day.
Yeah, I still have one.
You still have
and
one?
Dustin's
Yeah.
like, hey man, what do you want for this
It-
one?
Yeah.
It's a long cigar.
$20,000.
It's a
Yeah.
2-hour
So if
stick.
they agree to it, you're okay.
It's it's a Salomon, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Does anyone smoke the Commonwealth yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
How is
Incredible.
that?
Haven't smoked that yet?
That's
It's
that $70 one, right? Something like that.
40.
40.
That's the one that's in the box.
I smoked one.
Yeah.
I've got 2 more. I've got one in the box, and I got one in the box that's signed.
Yeah.
The one in the box signed, I'm not opening. That's just it's just there for show.
Right. Yeah,
But
that's.
other than
I had to give one away because Amy Porter, she works for Lone Elm.
that, yeah.
I got permission from Brandon to age some cigars, and she went to someone say whiskey and was trying to get some info, and it blew up into this. You can't sell this product, and someone say whiskey, and they were like, she's like, no, we just wanted to see what people want us to put in the barrel and all this big mess. So I gave that to her as a thank you, but she spent about an hour online listening to admins all this to her. So how do you get somebody happy with you when you made someone mad? Give me that cigar.
Coming up to the shop, I don't know, I guess I was just wanting to get here in a hurry. Cop pulled me over because I was doing 50 and 45. And he's like, where are you going? I was like, he's like, where are you going? Sorry, I didn't realize I was a speeding officer. I'm headed down to the Cigar Lounge this morning. He goes, yeah. I was like, it's industrial. I was like, you smoke cigars? Yeah, here. And he gave my house stick. And he goes, all right, I'll be right back. Comes back, it's a warning. I totally should have told that story. It's like, yeah. So yeah, you should get on the industry.
We're trying to bribe you, motherfucker.
Yeah. Step out.
So the part of meeting you that I didn't get to say on there was, so I see this Porsche pull through the grass. I'm like, why is there a Porsche in the field next to me? I go out there, the whole family's out there, I'm meeting everybody, it's cool, I get to meet my new neighbor before they build the house, and I'm talking to Bagley, Brandon's there, and she's like, I really love this place, but the only thing I don't like are spiders. And we're chatting, in between her feet, and go back to this, is a tarantula, this big around, bigger, yeah. For like 5 minutes we're talking, and she's sitting there, and he looks at me, I look at him, I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything. She walks away. She never had a clue.
She saw it the day that we closed on the land. We went out there, and there was one crawling across. It was as big as a chihuahua. I mean, this thing was huge. Now, I've never seen anything that big.
It's creepy. It's
From my neighborhood over to your house.
Get it? Well, we've got neighbors with kayaks.
Yeah. We have 13 access.
Like always,
boats behind the house. We could just take the boat.
come pick me
I
up.
have one. The other neighbor has one.
Yeah.
We can go out
Hey,
there.
You know what? It would be kind of cool to do one of these from your boat.
Oh, we should do that.
That'd be kind of cool. If we did like a Sunday, because this can run off of LTE.
Okay.
So if we did it off of LTE and we just sat on the boat and did this, that would be really cool on a Sunday.
Yeah, really awesome.
Just take us and go out there.
Sunday special.
I'm up. Somebody know when. Other than this Sunday, I'm free.
Yeah, Sunday's Father's Day. One of my parents.
I got family coming in town I've never met before.
If you were to do another one of these, probably the best would be set up in that corner,
I've never met them.
move the table, so you have more
Fighting the
distance
family back in the day.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And with a little bit, yeah.
She kind of feels left out because her family wouldn't let her meet the rest of the family. The dad passed away and mom passed away, so now
That was good.
she can meet everybody. And she's finding out that her parents were kind of the problem in the whole situation, not everybody else. And yeah, holy shit.
That'll be a fun night. You know what? Both our amigos cut out in an hour.
That thing's still recording.
No? It
No?
should be green.
The thing is red.
It should be green.
Turn it off.
I